Deadpool, isn't it? We saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Woo!
Alternate titles being Deadpool into the Deadiverse.
Well, an alternate title is Deadpool 3 because it is Deadpool and Wolverine.
I don't think it's Deadpool 3.
I don't think it's Deadpool 3. I think it is after Deadpool 2. But it is so much of like their story instead of just Deadpool's story.
Yeah, it's strange because like Logan is the end of the Wolverine story.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an epilogue for both.
That's a good way to talk about it. Like an epilogue, yeah. But it's also like how they're branching off into the MCU.
They joined at a great point.
Hey, okay, not everything is bad. People say that it's all bad. Moon Knight fucking slapped heavy. Loki was good.
That's the thing, the TVA is in this, and I hope that you watch the rest of Loki, because I really liked all of Loki.
I still need to watch the remainder of season 2, but I love it. It's such a good show.
But did you know that they were gonna? I think Ryan Reynolds wanted it to be called Deadpool and Friend to like really keep the whole thing that Wolverine was in it, because that was the whole thing, was like they didn't want it to be leaked.
No, I didn't know it was a thing till the trailer came out. But I try my best to avoid spoilers anyway, so.
I mean, very detached from social media, so we're doing good on that point.
Yeah. I don't have social media, so.
Also, I feel like the movie is just one big metaphor for like the Fox buyout.
Yeah, I can see that. It was kind of a ha-ha to Fox.
Yeah, considering like it opens with digging up the corpse of
Logan.
And
Yeah.
it's like, well, you know, this is very telling of, yep, we're just digging up a storyline that's already ended and milking it for all its money.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't the trailer where I first knew. It was the announcement that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman did, where they muted it. You know, and it's like, oh, this is how we're gonna do it. You know.
Oh, yes, yeah, I remember that.
Where they said, oh, how are we going to do it without, sullying the greatness that is Logan, which, of course, they talk about in the movie by just saying, yeah, we can't do that shit.
Yeah, the whole thing of, like, the anchor being is, like...
Yeah, that's a new thing with the MCU, anchor beings.
I think it's literally just a nod and a wink, or whatever, a nudge and a wink, to be like, yeah, as soon as this character dies, the audience stops caring about the whole thing.
You mean Iron Man?
Yes, as in like Iron Man is the anchor being of the sacred timeline.
Yeah, of 616, which is also weird because they've now officially changed it so like the sacred timeline is 616, but that's supposed to be the like comic book main timeline, and the MCU was supposed to be, I think, like 9 or like 0999, some bullshit long ass number. But no, it's just 616 now, which they brought in Infinity War, I think. No,
I think the sacred timeline was Loki.
yeah, but the numbers 616 were first brought in Spider-Man, I think.
I don't know. You lost me on the numbers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not important for this. Yeah. It is just something that is mentioned.
Do you know what is important?
What?
Dancing to Bye Bye Bye.
Oh, yeah, we didn't. Oh, no, that's the intro. That's the intro.
No, yeah, we definitely nailed it. I don't know what the finished product's gonna look like, but we nailed it.
I'll make it look good.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post.
I think from, like, I've watched the clips. I haven't put the clips together. I'm pretty sure we have some Magic Mike bullshit going on, I'll be honest.
Oh no! Your Honor, I was just following the dance tutorial.
Yeah, we were just following the dance. That's all it is. Yeah, there's a lot of hip swaying.
Oh, you know what was really hyped about was the all the different versions of Wolverine.
Yes, dude, seeing the height accurate one was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there was that one, and the one where it's like the Wolverine on like the X thing, like amongst all the skulls.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's from a comic book.
Dude, I was about to say that's comic booky as fuck. Like, where else are you gonna see mountains of bloody skulls? Just skulls, no bones, just skulls, with Hugh Jackman splayed out on an X upright.
Yes, it's from the Uncanny X-Men, from what I can see. Uncanny X-Men 251 is where that shot is from, which is really fucking cool. I saw it and was like, whoa, that's so fucking sick.
You know, it wasn't comic specific.
What?
Cavalry.
Cavalry. I love Cavalry so fucking much. When I saw, like, the muscles, I was like, whoa, big Wolverine? What the fuck?
Honka-chonkery.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what this one's implying, because Hugh Jackman's a big man anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a honk. And then Henry Cavill turned around? Dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
And I'm glad...
I hope they actually bring him into the MCU at some point.
Yeah. I'm glad that they had that that moment of like him going around to all the Wolverines just to show like, hey, yeah, it doesn't matter that Logan is dead. We're finding another one and we're having fun with it, you know? There's no like wacky resurrections. We're just finding the character and getting with it.
Yeah. It was weirdly them digging up Logan and being like, nope, he's dead, works well, because then that shows the audience, especially people that wouldn't quite know or like haven't been following the whole multiverse bullshit that the MCU's been doing. It shows them like, hey, while even in the movie Deadpool said, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna have to fuck up his ending, they don't, because his ending is still set. They go off and find a different Wolverine, showing that it's not Logan, but it is also mentioned later with X-23 that I don't know if X-23 is from Logan.
Yeah, X-23 is from the Logan. That's the clone. The girl.
Actually from.
Yeah. Oh, isn't like the X-23 in Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah. I didn't know if that X-23 was actually like Logan universe X-23, because it's not mentioned, but it seems like even if they are or aren't, they have the same experience.
Yeah, but I guess that's like it. Literally, with the TVA, all that needs to happen is something slightly different, and then they just go gone.
Yeah, because as they said, they're not pruning the universes anymore, so the TVA isn't going in and going like, got you.
Mm.
So it's either that X-23 from the Logan universe did something to be like personally pruned by the TVA, or that it's just a different universe, X-23, where they've lost their anchor being a different Logan, because Deadpool's universe, where Logan is, you know, it's all set in that same universe, still exists, so it hasn't all been pruned.
Also, speaking of it, just the Void as a whole.
Oh, the Void was so cool. The reference to Mad Max and then making it so much like Mad Max.
It's like, guys, we're going to get in trouble with IP, and then just straight up have Mad Max cars come along.
It honestly surprises me that they didn't pull some, like, fucking bullshit Kamehameha.
And, like, they have the Fox logo in the Void as well.
Yeah, It's been pruned. It's been gone.
It's been yucked in the void. Which I think, like, again, I feel like the void is just like all the characters that like were given those standalone Fox Marvel movies, but then like they never got to truly live out their glory because they flopped.
Yeah, well, not all of them. A lot of them were also just references to the old X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, though they wasn't given a lot of spotlight. In the trailer, I think it was, they were given a lot of spotlight, and everyone was like, whoa, the X-Men characters are back, but they just kind of appeared in a fight or two. You know what, in the background of talking scenes, which was like, it's cool to see them, and to bring all of these, like, actors and actresses from those movies back to play their roles, but they were such, like, minor roles.
My favorite was Capitan America.
Capitan America! Dude, I loved that. It's, but speaking on the point just before, Johnny, like the Sabretooth one, that was used a lot in the promo. It was like 3 seconds. Which,
oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose of like, oh my god, people have been waiting years for this. Which I feel like it feeds into like the whole the No Way Home and the multiverse of Doctor Strange, where like they have Patrick Stewart come out in a taxi. He's driving his little yellow wheelchair.
Oh yeah. That's from the old X-Men animated shows. That's what he used to go around in.
Yeah, but like it's like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for so long. All these comic accurate things, and then they're just done.
Yes. It's like, whoa, it's my childhood.
Then
it's like, dead.
It's like, there you go. You've got your childhood. Anyways, moving on.
It's because they don't want to introduce these really cool characters without it being like the movie based around them. You know, you don't want them to be side characters. So like Sabretooth, such a big character for Wolverine that it would be a shame to make them like the sub villain of the movie. You know, the main villain being Charles's twin, which I can't remember their name.
Is it Cass or something?
I'll look it up. But in the comics, at least from what I know, Charles Xavier does have a twin, but it's the Juggernaut.
What?
Charles Xavier's brother is the Juggernaut. So when that happened, I was like, what the fuck? The twin's right back there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and the fact that Juggernaut is there when there's already a different version of Juggernaut.
Yeah, that is a thing we talked about already. The fact that like Deadpool didn't react to the Juggernaut, even though the second movie, he's like, "Wow, it's the Juggernaut! Let's go!" You know, and then he sees the Juggernaut again, even mentioning like, "Oh, Juggernaut's helmet." So it's not like he doesn't recognize that character to be the Juggernaut because it's brought up in front of him and around him. He just no reaction. It's like, oh, nothing.
Also, we were robbed of the return of "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Yeah, dude, that line is so iconic. I love it so much. They really should have brought it back. But I don't think the guy who was playing the Juggernaut was the original person.
I mean, he might have changed between then and there.
So yeah, it is a different person. So Aaron Reed and Vinnie Jones. Cool. I thought they looked different. I was like, I swear, they're different people.
What I liked about can you look up quickly what's Xavier's twin sister's?
Yeah, I got you.
I swear, is it like Casanova or something?
Cassandra Nova.
Cassie Nova.
Yep. Why don't they have the Xavier name?
Because then it wouldn't be Casanova.
It wouldn't be Casanova. It'd be Cassandra Xavier.
Hello, it's me, Charles Nova.
that actually kind of goes hard, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but the thing is, with her character, usually when it comes to like, you know, the final boss fight or whatever, they like like someone with that massive amount of power. Especially, it's a thing that annoys me so much with the current guy. What's in Quantumania and Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That guy.
Oh, Kang.
Yeah.
No.
Where he's literally, or like
He's not in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
The High Evolutionary.
Oh, the High Evolutionary.
Yeah, they're all variants of each other.
The High Evolutionary isn't Kang. They're separate people.
Gotta watch the post-credit scenes. This is the problem with the MCU. But anyways, that character, those two basically have like the same power of like just taking someone and shoving them against the wall and like these.
Yeah.
And then when it actually comes to like the final fight, he all of a sudden doesn't use these incredible powers that he's been shown to use.
They showed telekinesis. I think that telekinesis. Yeah, they show like telekinesis, basically the fucking force.
Like, just like destroying people and just like these unfathomable powers. And then when it comes to fighting them, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just punch him harder than usual and he'll use, I don't know, some nerfed abilities. Whereas with Cassandra, she was always there of like, yep, I'm not holding back. I'm gonna break people's fucking heads.
Yes, it was very cool to see telekinetic powers used how they fucking would be. R.I.P. Johnny. But that's just how it works. You know, and they're like, ha, I throw you. It's like, no, they could just go, you're dead. Testicular torsion.
Cassandra uses testicular torsion.
I'm fucking Wolverine and Deadpool.
No, but like, that's what I was so prepared for to see in the movie, was like Deadpool and Wolverine getting Johnny'd, but that's actually so wrong. That sounds so wrong.
It does, but I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, they'd like get the but then like their skin, like their flesh grows back.
Oh yeah, that would be horrible. Oh my god, I'm imagining that, and I'm glad they didn't do that. I think that's a lot.
Yeah, because it's like that thing of like, well, they're both not supposed to be able to die, so, and they were talking about the thing of like, oh, Johnny's fine, he'll get better. So I was kind of there like, is he gonna?
I don't think he's getting better. But it was so cool because in the cinema I leaned to you and said, Capitan America? And he said, flame on. I lost my shit.
Yep.
It was so cool to see. Obviously, you came over here, so we was watching it in the UK, and we don't have reactions like Americans. You know how they are in the cinema where it's like, whoa! And everyone's like screaming and stuff. Yeah. That doesn't happen here. But even like then when he said flame on, there was that murmur throughout the audience of like, oh.
But also where you lost your shit, Gambit.
I love Gambit, man.
Yeah, there's Gambit, Blade, Elektra, and X-23 all showing up.
Well, a fan cast for Gambit has been what the fuck's his name? Channing Tatum for so long.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, you know what? Boom.
And then they did it, and he just goes, oh yeah, I got so we got
Yeah. He's got such a thick, like, New Orleans accent. I don't know if it's exactly New Orleans, but...
I don't even know if you can call that an accent.
It's so difficult to understand.
Who is your dialect coach?
Bringing that out, and it's like, he probably got taught really well how to do a really shit accent.
Yep.
It's so many good moments. And yeah, Elektra, and when they brought up Daredevil... Ben Affleck is Daredevil in there, and they were like, "Yeah, nah, he's dead."
Daredevil, no
Daredevil.
Oh, was it? Speaking of which, like when Johnny dies, Deadpool just goes, "You've no idea what he was doing to the budget."
Yeah, true. Yeah. Being super meta about it, being like, "Hey, listen, that's Chris Evans.
He had to die. We had to
kill him off." Plus, the Marvel. I was gonna say the MCU, but yeah, they both count. Marvel are bringing in the new Fantastic Four, so it would kind of
the new Fantastic Four.
There's a new Fantastic Four coming in. So it kind of put a bit of a damper on that.
3 times the charm, guys. 3 times the charm.
I think this new Fantastic Four will be pretty good. So, to play Reed Richards, otherwise known as Mr. Fantastic, is Pedro Pascal.
Oh yeah.
Susan Storm is Vanessa
I thought
Kirby.
the Reed Richards was, I guess, Multiverse of Madness, you'll see him once and never again.
Yeah. Multiverse of Madness. They hired in John Krasinski, and then that's it. He got recast instantly after that role, which is such a shame because everyone wanted John Krasinski to be Mr. Fantastic. Though I'm not complaining. Pedro Pascal, I mean.
But I feel like now, whatchamacallit, now Patrick Stewart won't come back as Xavier because he had his thing in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of take all those and just.
Yeah.
Same with like all the people that you saw.
He is also getting up there in age. So
but I mean like any of
like
those actors that you've seen as like the Sabretooth being in the throwaway thing, they probably aren't going to get cast again.
Yeah, they will probably recast Sabretooth. And probably at some point even recast Wolverine.
Henry Cavill.
Because, I mean, that might even be why they added Henry Cavill. Just for fans to, like, get that flash in the eyes and slowly get used to it and be like, okay, no, I can see that. I can see that.
How do you replace Hugh Jackman immediately, You have to have that...
Yeah, it's
You have to have that
impossible.
gradual, handover.
Yeah, so it might be a thing where they kill off Hugh Jackman and then Deadpool goes back and he's like, okay, we got you now, and gets the Cavalrine instead. But again, maybe not. There was that joke going through where it's like, they're gonna make you do this till you're 90.
You're 90. Disney's got you back now.
Which I hope they don't. Let the man rest. He retired. He's already retired.
It is literally Ryan Reynolds himself that made this all happen. Like, if they weren't, like, actual friends, then this would not have seen the light of day at all. But come on, it's just too much of an iconic matchup. And it's obvious that it just works way too well.
I think it would be cool to see a new Wolverine. But it's like replacing Iron Man. It's near impossible. I think.
And they've even got Robert Downey Jr. back again.
Yeah, and they pulled him back and was like, "You're not done." Fucking the Kratos and Thor fight. No. You're done when I say you're done.
Now that Disney just owns everything.
Yeah, they're bringing him back as Doctor Doom. I think is gonna be so cool.
I have a feeling now with the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, similar to when Suicide Squad came out, close enough to like Halloween, that you were going to see a bunch of costumes of Deadpool and Wolverine and the hundreds of Deadpool variants that showed up.
Yes. They were so cool. Have you seen
like
the like shorts, so Instagram, TikTok, YouTube? Everyone is getting the fucking super cheap costumes of Deadpool and Wolverine. Like the party costumes, just to do the dance too.
Yeah.
We should have done the same.
We did our super cheap our own way, okay?
Yeah, we did super cheap our own way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think Halloween is going to just be littered with Deadpool, Wolverine, all the different variants.
Yeah, you have all the different variants of Wolverine, all the different variants of Deadpool. I mean, Comic-Cons were
already packed with Deadpools.
I think it's going to be even worse. Yeah, you're going to have a competition between the Spider-Mans, Wolverines, and Deadpools, and all the different types.
Yep.
Especially, especially it's going to be the whole thing of, like, you can have Kid Pool, Baby Pool.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Was it just Woman Pool?
No, they're known as Lady Pool.
Lady Pool. We had Deadpool. We had Deadpool Samurai.
Yeah, I think so. I actually genuinely think so. I was looking throughout it because I think, doesn't the movie start in Japan? No, it doesn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes. Let me pull it out. Hold on. I was
Deadpool
very
2,
excited.
so-
I was very excited.
Yeah,
I was
Deadpool.
looking for him. I was like, I hope they bring Deadpool Samurai.
I think they literally just have a Deadpool who is a samurai.
It's not this Deadpool Samurai, because that's just Deadpool. But there was Deadpool who is a samurai, which was very cool. And then 2 different cowboy are like Western variants of Deadpool.
Yeah, yeah, and of course, Peter Pool.
Peter Pool.
Peter's a goddamn legend.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how all conflict is solved.
It's just Peter, which is
But not to mention, Nice Pool and Dog Pool.
Yeah, dude, Dog Pool. Oh, okay. My only gripe with the movie, maybe I'm weird for it, but Ryan Reynolds sticking his tongue out and Dog Pool, bro, that nearly made me vomit. I was like, that's fucking horrific. Maybe I'm weird for thinking that's horrid, but I was like, ugh, that's...
It's probably not the worst thing that Ryan Reynolds has stuck his tongue on.
Are you talking from experience? What the fuck? Don't go silent with that.
What do you mean experience? I'm talking about Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, and R.I.P. Nice Pool.
R.I.P. Nice Pool.
The only guy. It makes sense because he still has his normal face, so obviously he doesn't have.
Yeah, no healing factor. No cancer.
The eternal cancer.
He's just a dude.
No mutant gene.
But his hair was gorgeous.
Just a guy. He's just
beautiful hair.
And his guns were.
Ooh! Bro had 500 headshots with those.
Now that we're coming up to the end of the movie, the soundtrack,
beautiful.
The whole set, especially that final scene, where after saying Hugh Jackman let himself go after the divorce.
Yeah. Oh my God! What a personal poor Hugh, because the divorce is a very real thing.
No. He was referencing to the. Yeah, he's referencing to the whole Fox and Disney divorce, right? Right.
Yeah. The divorce of Fox and Disney, not Hugh Jackman's own personal, actual, real-life divorce that he's going through.
Then his shirt blows off and he's got a fucking washboard.
Dude, that gave me so much body dysmorphia. It was crazy. I saw it and was like, fuck! God damn it!
He's still huge Jackman.
He is huge jacked man, yeah. I honestly, I know they didn't want to take away from all of Hugh's hard work, but Ryan Reynolds is also in incredible shape. I thought it was then gonna blow off for Deadpool as well, and they were both just gonna be stood there shirtless, arms
just
out.
Shirtless is like, ugh.
They'd just been like, oh yeah, ugh. Sweaty men for the men.
Man, yeah, just for the,
But yeah, no, the soundtrack was gorgeous. It clearly took inspiration. I think a lot of MCU has taken inspiration from Guardians of the Galaxy, with how incredible that soundtrack was, and everyone loved those movies just for them being great movies, but also because of how good the soundtrack worked with the storytelling. And it's the same in Deadpool.
I think that Deadpool though has gone like one step further of it, like not just playing the song like how in Guardians of the Galaxy was just a Walkman, but like in Deadpool 2 with the rip your heart out emotional rendition of Take On Me.
Yep.
And then like just having this orchestral epic symphony of like
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy get beautiful fucking songs and incorporate it into very emotion heavy scenes. Deadpool gets really good songs, bumps that shit up to 25 and makes you feel. And in a comedy no less, it's impressive.
Yeah. I think like just going to like the writing itself. It was so close to being like its own unique thing, but couldn't resist to the cliches of like, now we have a big fight scene like every other superhero movie.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the whole thing is when Deadpool is stalling at the end, where like he does the whole little goofy haha of like the oh I'm walking down the stairs, and then he's like, I think I'm actually scared to die.
Yeah.
Especially after Deadpool 2, where he spends like the entire first part of the movie trying to kill himself.
Yeah. He tries so hard in Deadpool 2 to just be like, you know what, I'm done. But yeah, in this one, now that he had the choice of being who he wanted to be.
He wanted to be someone before he died.
Yeah, but to be someone, he had to die. So it was, you know, even though, again, it was played for jokes, it's a comedy. So
yeah,
it is such a heavy subject, which, you know, as Deadpool, he has to play it off for comedy. But that little moment where he just said, I think I'm scared to die. He says it as a joke, you know, haha, everyone laughs. That was such a genuine moment, I feel, from Deadpool, of being like, oh no, this is actually horrifying to me.
And with that, like the way they make Deadpool serious, like that's the whole thing I think of the movie, is like Deadpool trying to be taken seriously. Yeah. And who better to do that than with Wolverine? Because in the first fight scene they have with Deadpool and Wolverine, it's like, Wolverine's just angry, he's gonna go fight Deadpool. But then the second time when they're inside the Honda Odyssey, which
such a great
product placement 100, product placement 100 on the Honda Odyssey, where like literally, he like Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool wearing a mask so you can't see his face, but just how silent he is, just watching as Wolverine goes off on him, saying like, "Oh, but God's greatest joke is that you can't die."
Yeah.
And then he just says, I'm gonna go fight you now.
Yep.
That how do you do emotion in a comedy?
That it was so great, because as they even said in that scene, you know, Deadpool is the Merc with the mouth. That's his title for so long. The easiest way to show that he's taking something like serious beyond the comedy and beyond how he would normally take things, to something where it like genuinely hurt, is to shut him up. So from a writing point of view, doing that and giving him no dialogue when Wolverine flips his shit is such a clever way to show Deadpool is genuinely hurt, and he just replies with like, I'm gonna fight you now. It's like, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass.
And the fact that it's someone who can break the fourth wall and be completely detached from reality is so invested
in that moment, yeah.
That he's not like looking over to the camera of just like, kids, don't try this at home or something like that. He just straight up goes like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, it could quite easily have been a thing of Wolverine going off and Deadpool just turning to the camera and being like, womp womp.
I wonder how much he was paid to say those lines.
Yeah, you know, some bullshit like that. But he was so in that moment of just like, okay, yeah, no, fuck you, let's go. And on the product placement, such a clever, damn, I just realized it sounds like we're glazing Deadpool and Wolverine so hard. I was like, oh my god. We are glazing the fuck out of this movie. It's a good movie.
It is.
But the product placement is grotesquely in your face, but also clever to a degree. Like Honda. Having Deadpool shit on their car at the beginning of the movie, to then eventually him going, you know what? I actually like this car. Is such a clever way to subtly add the notion that my car's good, you know?
Instead of like, if you want a 50% increase in testosterone, you gotta drive the Ford F-150. Then you too can have a healing factor and bones of adamantium.
Because they could have easily said, oh no, Deadpool has to like the car. And then at the beginning, he's just like, this is my favorite car. And then he goes into the void and he's like, whoa, my favorite car.
Like,
you know?
yay!
But they allowed him to, they allowed him to shit on it and be like, no, this is all the things that are wrong with this car. It's shit. And be like, actually, it's pretty good.
Because they beat the fuck out of the cars.
Yeah, that car was in pieces. It honestly reminded me very much of what is it called? I think it's called like car judo.
Oh, is that where like they fight inside of a car, in the confines of a car?
Yeah. It's where they fight. Oh, sorry. Car jujitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where they fight inside of a car. They're allowed to use the seatbelts and everything. And I was like, dude, I can see where the inspiration's from. As they were like wrapping each other with the seatbelts, and it was so cool.
Yeah.
It's so unique to have these characters that are known for like flipping and jumping and diving, you know, with the claws and the blades and all this bullshit. To confine them into such a small space to where it also, cinema-wise, or film-wise, it's showing how personal it is. It's such a small space where they're dealing with that difficulty between them. That it's personal to them, you know, they can't like run across a field and hate each other from a distance. It's so like in that moment right there of like, fuck you, no fuck you, fight it out, hate each other.
Because they can't die. They're just like, they can go on for forever. It's like, you know,
yeah, give them a big field, they'll just fight eternally.
Which is why I like that so much better than the whole like versus army of Deadpools, because that's just the whole cliche big fight thing, whereas that was so much more that specific to that movie.
Yeah, very true. The big like running through the Deadpools, very cliche with like as you said, you know, think very much like Avengers, basically any of them, but the
Avengers Endgame, where it's just two things going, you can't get invested in anything that's going on there. Because it's just like, and nameless people fight against nameless people.
The things they're fighting are just like henchmen. Even though in this, it's like, oh, look at all the different Deadpools. At the end of the day, they are still just like faceless henchmen. You know, just bodies. Yeah. But they twisted it at the end by being like, yeah, no, Deadpool can't die. These ones aren't any different. I know we just showed you Nicepool, who was different, but the rest of them are fine. Nicepool.
He had some nice guns.
Though he was a really bad pet owner, he kept losing his fucking dog.
Yeah, I don't know why that dog was constantly running away from him.
Yeah, what the fuck was with that?
Let's not think too hard about that. Anyway, so what are your overall thoughts on the movie?
I think they definitely used the nostalgia pill to add to the movie.
Yeah, especially with like the TVA putting all the things.
Yeah, and the bringing back of the X-Men and, you know, all this other stuff. But they didn't push it too hard. There's some movies that completely rely on it, you know?
Yeah.
I think, ashamedly, a little bit Multiverse of Madness. You know, everyone was so hyped to see Patrick Stewart. Is that his name? Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Everyone was so hyped to see Patrick Stewart return, and they just did nothing with it. But with this, I think they did it well.
Yeah.
The actual storyline, it was fine. There was nothing where I could really complain about. It's not an overly complex storyline, but I think it never needs to be with a comedy. Like, with the other two Deadpool movies, the storylines, when you break them down, they're pretty simple, but they're done in such a clever way to where even a simple story can make you feel emotion. Even in a comedy. It's great. If a comedy can make you feel, then they're doing the comedy right. And the fighting, I mean, you know, they can't really get it wrong. Yeah. But the intro fight, oh my god, that shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you on the whatchamacallit, the whole, like, they took the nostalgia pill, but I feel like they used it as a tool rather than as a crutch. Because it was more of like they took the characters from Fox's X-Men and those movies and just used them as, like, you care about these characters and what they do, instead of being like, here are some people who are here that are going to help, and here are some people here that you need to fight. They got, like, the best of both worlds with, like, the, it's them, and I know what these do, they don't need to explain what the powers are. They, like, held that sort of mystery for Cassandra. She's, like, the only new face So like you don't know what to expect, and that adds to like the threat. Especially the fingers going through the face thing was.
Yeah, that shit was fucking horror. That was gross.
Yeah,
It was so gross.
The body horror thing, especially when she did to Deadpool, it's like, oh, thankfully there's a mask on, you can't see the whole thing. When she did it to the TVA guy, Paradox,
Yeah,
and you saw it
Paradox.
coming up through the eye, I was like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman having a whole lot of fun and giving a whole lot of rain. And I think the most severe fourth wall break we have ever seen in a Deadpool movie, where he grabs the camera and the microphone, sucker punches the camera and says "suck it" as he goes on
suck
to
it, Fox. Bang.
marveljesus. But yeah,
And honestly, even though they were like, I'm Jesus, I mean, everyone is now excited.
Yep.
For the rest of the MCU. They're like, oh, is it coming back? Is it being less ass? And putting on to your point about the nostalgia characters feeling as though there is some importance to them. X-23 coming into the movie and being the reason Logan chooses to go with them in the end.
Yep.
Is such a clever way to use that character with such little screen time that X-23 actually has. Such a clever way. Just that quiet moment away from everyone where they talk and she's like, hey, you're never the right guy. And that's why you're the right guy. Works so well for Wolverine.
The one thing I will say is that I never got how I get it that that Wolverine is described as like the worst Wolverine. He let down his entire world. But I feel like the dude strapped onto a big X with a bunch of bloody skulls might have let down his entire world rather than a dude just getting drunk at a bar.
Yeah,
but
definitely worse ones, but
I came to the conclusion that you know what? This is the one we have. We have alcoholic Wolverine, obviously the worst one.
I think it's to do with the fact that he,
he started going on a rampage afterwards.
Yeah. So a bunch of the X-Men died, which he blames himself for, and I guess the TVA does as well. And then he just goes around and he kills a bunch of people. Which again, is probably not the worst thing that Wolverine's done. There are probably worse Wolverines, but it's easier just to say, "Oh yeah, the worst Wolverine," instead of going, "Oh yeah, this one is kind of bad."
Yeah, because when it said it in the trailer of he let his whole world down, he just kind of seems like he's just a useless drunk bum. That would be a better way to spin it. Just really, this one.
Yeah, it could have been described as the Wolverine that gave up. Yeah, so he gave up. There is no more hero in him. There is no more good quality. So it's not a good Wolverine to bring along, because there's no way he could be an anchor being because he has no connection to a universe.
But you know why he's the best?
The suit.
The suit.
The suit.
The
so
suit.
Fucking cool. I loved it. And then when he took the sleeves off, I loved it even more.
And then.
Yeah.
It's like Batman,
so good.
but with extra biceps. And he can turn. It's Batman, except he can turn his neck.
Yeah. It was so cool to see it in live action. It was nice. And I didn't even grow up with those the cartoons or anything. We're too young for the cartoons. But even then, it's still so cool to see.
Absolutely.
And Deadpool's suit as well in this movie. Oh, beautiful.
That suit up scene. It's also, he's a predator.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. Stop.
It's the amount of times he just grabs his ass.
So what are your overall thoughts, Sean?
I'm going to keep it short and sweet and say that this is everything I wanted it to be. And more.
Yep.
I was looking for Deadpool and Wolverine to hash it out, hug it out, and just do something I didn't know what to expect, but whatever it was, like it wasn't going to ever be like, because you couldn't have the regular like Deadpool like personal stakes, because in the two Deadpool movies it's just surrounded by Vanessa.
Yeah.
It's just Vanessa. So to have like those, oh my gosh, you gotta save the world or save your universe thing, you know, it's just fun. Like, you know, there's only so, when you're dealing with multiverse, there's only so high the stakes, especially when you can break the fourth wall. It's hard to get invested on like the save the world thing, so they just go on the let's get invested in these characters and their relationship rather than the actual stakes of saving the universe.
You don't come into a Deadpool and Wolverine movie expecting a story that will transcend all its barriers and give you a new perspective in life.
He even says, what in
you
the
go in
MacGuffin?
expecting funny. Yeah. It's like going into a like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
It's
Again,
like going
Ryan,
into you're not expecting
it's just every Ryan Reynolds.
It's Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. You don't go in expecting the most profound story to be told. You just hope that it hits some nostalgia pills. You hope that the story doesn't blow ass. And that you can get invested in the characters and end up having a good time and seeing all the cool things in live action and being like, whoa, that's so cool. And then you're happy. And it did that. For me, it did that.
So happy. I'm so happy that they gave him his little, like, both of them their happy ever after of Deadpool and Wolverine going to his birthday.
Team up.
So
I also heard on the grapevine that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are super down to do a movie with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which would be
Deadpool into the Deadiverse, baby. Deadpool into the Deadiverse.
Yeah, it would be beautiful, especially because
till he's 90.
Yeah. But the thing that connects all of the Deadpools is a character called Peter, and in the comics, Deadpool loves Spider-Man. He's like, dude, I fuck with you so heavy. Let's be best friends. I think a movie with all three of them would be fantastic, especially because how much they were allowed to swear in these movies. Like Wolverine, he was allowed to swear in Logan because that was the big movie.
That was the first kind of.
Yeah, but before that, it was all just, hey,
what the fuck?
Hey, bub, what are you doing, bucko?
Darn.
And it was like, just let him say fuck, dude. Yeah. So hearing it all, I was like, yep. This is everything. It makes me happy. It doesn't need to have. It doesn't need to be perfection. It was just
It's what
good.
it needed to be.
I would give it a good solid 8.5. You know, it's not gonna change my life, but it's fucking good.
I'm not even bothered to put numbers on it. It is what it is.
It transcends numbers.
I definitely want to go watch it again.
Yeah. I want to go watch it again. I think it'd be a bunch of fun. I'm also just excited to watch it at home, like when it comes on to Disney Plus. I think that's gonna be fun. Cause then I can sit and rewatch it lots. But yeah, that is Deadpool and Wolverine.
That is Deadpool and Wolverine.
The video needs an outro. No! We're gonna get copyrighted, Sean! Stop!
Oh!